Hi everybody. We're going to use this quick video to show you how to use SDA to calculate a difference of means t-test. We're going to look at two different variables. We're going to look at word sum and the variable degree, and we're going to compare the average number of words correctly identified of people who are high school students compared to people who are college grads. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at these two variables. I'm just going to come up here in the variable selection box and type in degree, click on view, and you can see that we've got 5 different outcomes: less than high school, junior college, bachelor, and graduate. I'm going to use a selection filter to make certain that we only look at people coded 1 for high school compared to 3 for bachelor. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other variable, which is called word sum, which is the variable we've used before, which is the number of words correctly identified on a 10-word vocabulary test. You can see that it ranges from 0, that 228 people didn't get any words, didn't correctly identify any of the 10 words, to a 10, where we have 5.2% of the distribution, or 1,668 people. So this is my dependent variable, and the degree variable, but only looking at 2 different degree categories, will be my independent variable. To do a difference of means t-test, we don't use this tables tab. We're going to use the means tab. Now we're required to put in 2 different variables here. We have to specify the dependent variable and the row variable. This is a little odd in means for some things, but it's going to work out well for us here. So simply, I'm going to click in this cell, and you can see I've played around with the GSS a little bit, so I've already got some things selected. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in word sum, even though I could have just selected it from my drop-down list. That's my dependent variable, and I'm going to get a similar list when I click in my row variable, and we'll see degree shows up. And that's all I need to specify up here. But down here in my selection filter, you'll see I'm going to take this option here. We're going to take degree 1, which is high school, and 3, which is bachelor. And I'm going to limit this to all responses from the 2018 General Social Survey. Then I'm going to make certain that I've selected no sample weight. And down here we have the statistic to display. We don't want the mean, and this is an important thing to check. We want the differences from the row category. So the row category is going to be 1 row for people with a high school degree and 1 row for people with a bachelor degree, and we want to look at the differences between or from those row categories. Now I have to specify which of the rows I want to be the baseline, and so I can do either the average for high school minus the average for bachelor, or I could do the average for bachelor minus the average for high school. I know that those things are coded 1 and 3, so I'm just going to go ahead and put 3 in here so that we'll use the bachelor degree as our baseline. Coming down to the output options, I usually like to just uncheck everything and start from scratch. So I want to make certain that I select simple random sample standard errors. Those are the ones we're using for this class. I can take the unweighted sample size, and then most importantly, I want to see the ANOVA statistics. It's the ANOVA statistics that are going to provide for me the information needed to calculate my t-statistic. I don't need to see any chart for this kind of statistics, so I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm ready to run the table, and hopefully I don't have any errors here. And I can just click on this, and we get our table. So here's what we observe. In that first row, we see in the first box, the one that's shaded blue, we can see the number minus 1.259. That is, high school students on average correctly identify 1.259 words less than BA or college graduates. I don't know what the average is for the college graduates, and at this point I don't really care that much. I just know that the difference between high school and college graduates is 1.259 words. I'm going to slide down a little bit and show you this thing called the ANOVA table. Most of the ANOVA table is not important for us now. We're going to get into this later in the course, but you can see that we've calculated an F statistic and a p-value. Now the F statistic is mathematically related to the t statistic for this kind of test. It's not always related, but in this test it definitely is. And to calculate our t statistic, all we need to do is take the square root of the F statistic to get our t statistic. And just glancing at it, it looks like it'll be a little over 10, which would lead us to reject the null hypothesis if we had alpha at 0.05, 0.01, or 0.001, because the critical values for t are plus or minus 1.96, 2.58, or 3.29. Hopefully this video gets you up and running with the difference in means test in SDA, and we'll see everybody in class.